I talk about do-it-yourself topics a lot on my show. And my next guest took on the ultimate DIY project. After hand-forging over 500 individual parts and investing 4 years of his time, the final product is just insane. It's an all-metal, full-scale Terminator T-800, and it's so realistic. He's gonna have a pretty hard time to convince me that he doesn't work for Skynet. His creation was recently featured in Popular Mechanics magazine, and he's joining me via Skype from Australia, and I'm excited to introduce to you Jamie Staff. Welcome to the show, Jamie. First of all, I just have to ask, why did you create your very own cyborg?
Just very much a labour of love. I love the films, been a big fan of both Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Cameron and all the creators that went behind the making of the character in the first place.
Well, when I was doing some research for our interview, I was astonished, I was amazed, I was super impressed on how you actually created this cyborg. Walk us through a little bit of the process because, he actually can move around.
Yeah, it is a fully articulated endoskeleton. All the pieces actually move. As you sort of said yourself, there's over 500 individual pieces that went into it. All the pieces had to be sort of, the thing that was a little bit different with it is that the movie version, the real version, if you like, was more of a static display. They did have some elements that sort of moved in it, but not to the degree that I've sort of gone into with this.
So what was the most difficult part to craft?
It's a bit of a how long is a piece of string question, really, because there were so many different elements in it that sort of ended up being tricky. One of the odd ones that seems like it would be an easy one, but ended up being really tricky, was the elbow, because of just the weird sort of shapes that were involved in it. But probably the head took the most individual time to sort of get right.
And then what's the hardest part of putting something like this together?
Just, I guess, the unexpected aspects of it. There's a lot that goes into it that, as you might imagine, with a film piece, there's no real world equivalent. So a lot of that I actually had to sort of work out, if you like, and sort of just work out how it actually would exist in the real world.
Okay, so did you just wake up one day and said, hey, I think I can do this?
Sort of. It was like I said, I've always been a fan of the film. I actually started out originally by building one of the arms that was initially made by from resin, and it got knocked over by my cat and sort of shattered into 1,000 pieces. And I realised that if I really wanted to have something that was, going to last, it had to be made from metal. I had previously done a course at TAFE, which is our equivalent of like a short course that you go and do. And from that, I thought, yeah, I think I can have a crack at this. I think I can make it from metal. From there, it sort of it grew. And I think I've said a couple of times, if I really knew how much was going to go into it, I probably would have never started it.
Really? You never would have started it?
Well, not to the degree that I've gone to. It's one of those sort of things. Like I said, it's been made over 4 years. Obviously, that wasn't a full-time thing. But sort of every minute that I had spare sort of went into it. And yeah, if somebody asked me to make another one, I think I'd have to think pretty seriously on whether or not I'd take it on again.
So, Jamie, you say this was a hobby. So do you do anything like this full-time?
Not really. I do occasionally make props for people on request, but more often than not, it's just something that I do it for the love of making things.
Okay, and now, so what are you going to do next? I mean, because you don't strike me as the guy who's just going to sit there and admire your last piece.
No, look, in a perfect world, there's so many different things I'd love to do. I have a small YouTube channel, as you guys know, and if it ever grew to the point where I could do that as a full-time thing, I just make stuff all the time. So, yeah, there's lots of things on my wish list. I have a pretty long wish list.
Now, I think the only thing that's missing is AI. Imagine if you can get some AI going on.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, if you would, this is obviously still a display piece, whilst all the joints move and it can be sort of positioned in whatever position I like. You could switch out pistons and sort of put real-world elements in it that could make it move. So
when you want to transport this guy, how do you do it?
I I guess the joy of it from that point of view is because of the way it's been built, he is completely disassemblable. Every part can come apart, every joint can be undone, so he can break down into constituent pieces sort of thing, and I can chip him around.
Well, that's pretty awesome, Jamie. Thanks for showing us your guy.
That's all right. Hopefully, maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger or James Cameron or Linda Hamilton or one of those guys will get to see it one day and drop me a comment or something.
Oh, that'd be pretty awesome. Maybe they watch the TV show or listen to the radio show. You never know. You never know, Jamie.
It would be an absolute joy to hear from any of them.
You got it. Well, before I say hasta la vista, baby, I want to thank you for sharing your story with us about the Terminator T-800, Jamie. It's truly incredible. And if you want to keep your DIY know-how going, check out my security tips and Komando DIY videos on my YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/Kim Komando Show. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.